Okay, good afternoon. Right, so let's continue with our past paper discussion. So we have been discussing 2019 paper. So we discussed the topic 1 and 2. Sorry, question 1 and 2, the network question last time we discussed. So let's move on to question number 3. Okay, maybe we have done this, but anyway, we'll do it again. Right, so this is e-commerce related question. ABC Books Private Limited specializes in buying and selling used second-hand books. At present, the business operations are fully manual, or currently it is pure brick. Okay, currently it is pure brick. Right, let's right. So there are so many questions. Right, let's take one by one. ABC Books Private Limited starts a website and allows its customers to purchase books online. What is the revenue model applicable to this scenario? So that means that is online sales. So because it starts websites and allows its customers to purchase. So that is online sales. Okay, so let's double check the answers also. Right, online sales, correct. Okay. Right, next question. Moving from pure brick type to brick and click. So that means they have the normal business operations as well as online. What is the most significant challenge unique to ABC's business? Explain your answer. So now you can't give a general answer. You must give a unique problem or specific to challenge to the ABC business. Okay, and also you need to explain, and there's a hint. Compare with the online sales of new books. Okay. So why do they mention about the new books? ABC Books Private Limited specialize in buying and selling used second-hand book. Okay. So this is buying and selling of you. Now basically if you are very serious, you pay attention more. So those who are less seriousness, so you don't pay attention to details. So that is the difference between getting a A, B, O, right? COS or fail. So if you want to get a good day, pay attention to details. Now remember this use second-hand books, that is their business. Hint says compare with online sales of new books. Okay, new books. Now, what do you think? Now they want to sell new, not new books, use second-hand books online. Okay. What is the most significant challenge unique to ABC's business? Explain your answer. Any idea? So maybe different students can come up with different answers, but pay attention to this point. Because there are so many businesses sell online new books. This is selling, actually both buying and selling online, but second-hand book. So one possible issue is maybe the quality of the book, because this second-hand book. So when it comes second-hand book, it is used. But when you say normal book, everyone know the quality. It's not going to be changed. But this one, the quality might be changed. So that is one thing comes to my mind, especially compared to new books. Okay. So what else? But they ask just one answer, okay? And it says most significant challenge. Because they talk about new books, I will go for that. I don't know whether my answer is correct or not. But that is what immediately came to my mind. Okay, these are open questions. Okay. So maybe you got some other points. Let's see what is the correct point. Customers being reluctant to buy second-hand book online as not have ability to inspect their quality. Yes, so that is exactly what I mentioned. Because second-hand book quality can be there. First-hand book, you don't have that problem. So they know the quality. Right, so there's another point they have given. Having no compete against online sellers of new books, ebooks. Having to compete. Sorry, having to compete. Anyway, that is Also valid, but you don't need to write 2 points. I just wrote this. So the second point is according to marking scheme. So you need to compete with the first-hand booksellers also, but that is not a very unique point. I prefer the first point. Okay. If you need me to explain more, just let me know. Okay. Otherwise, I will go fast now. ABC Books Private Limited has proposed to extend its website to an e-commerce marketplace for used books. This marketplace supports B2B, B2B, sorry, B2C, business to consumer, business to business, consumer to consumer, business types, and allow others businesses to participate as well. So not only you, other businesses can also participate. This is like a marketplace now. Explain briefly between whom the transaction in each of the business types B2C, B2B, C2C will take place in the proposed marketplace. Yes, it's a marketplace. So in business to consumer, transaction is between ABC company and the customer. Right? ABC company and the customer, because it's business to consumer. Right? Between whom the transaction in each of the business types happens. Of course, all these transactions are more, if it is online between the one party and the bank, but I don't think that that is what they expect. Then of course, all the models, the same answer is there, because in online, someone transaction is always between one party and uh, bank or bank account. But I hope that is not what they are looking for. So I'll say B2C, it is between business and customer. B2B, ABC company and another vendor. This is ABC company and customer. C2C, I will say it's between two customers, but coordinated through ABC. Right? It's a transaction between two customers, but coordinated through ABC. Again, these are open questions. Doing these questions is little bit risky also, because there can be some open questions. Okay. And so therefore, when I go for exam, if I go to exams, I will try to do more questions like programming, logic, if possible. Because if it is not possible, I will pick this kind of question, because these are optional questions. Okay. Right. Let's see the examiner's answer. B2C, between ABC books and its customer, correct. B2B, between ABC books and another business, correct. C2C, between individual customers of the marketplace, yes, between two customers. So I should get full marks. Okay. So you should also get full marks if you are serious. If you just use your common sense and seriously think in terms of business. Fourth one. Other than the revenue models you mentioned in one above, identify another suitable revenue model to be followed by ABC Company Limited in their proposed e-commerce marketplace. That means other than you sell online books, that is you get a profit. Now remember, we are trying to facilitate other vendors to sell their books and also facilitate C2C like eBay. Okay. So what are the other revenue models? Other revenue models. Maybe though it's very rarely done, if there are a lot of traffic to our site, because this facilitates C2C, B2B, maybe we can take some advertisements from maybe book publishers or third parties. Okay, so that is another possibility, right? Advertising based revenue. That is not very common, but especially if it is, we can promote some other businesses and so on, maybe related to book publishing. That is one thing come to my mind. Okay, so it says just one to identify, but let's look at another one. So other than the revenue model mentioned here, that is online sales. Okay, online sales. What else we can do? Because if used books, I don't see the possibility of going for e-books because these are used books. Because therefore, that is the only one that comes to my mind immediately. Okay. Or maybe I can highlight C2C and say, by promoting C2C interactions, facilitating selling of books by one customer to another, we can get into a commission-based revenue. So each transaction, we get a commission. It's not a profit, it's a commission. Maybe that is another possibility. Anyway, when they ask one, it's okay to write 2 points. Okay, but if it is obviously 1 point you have, just write it. But if you are a little bit in trouble, you better write 2 points. Okay, but you write your best point to the top. Let's see the examiner's answer. And you can see advertising support. Subscription fees, I did not, I mentioned that because this is use books. Usually, I don't see the possibility of uh, online. Subscription means subscribers get the facility to read online and so on. I don't know whether this is a good answer, but anyway, examiner has mentioned that. Because it's online, use books, I don't see this is possible. But I mentioned this one, commission, that you facilitate maybe C2C transaction or B2C transaction between different book vendor and customer, you get a commission or fee for transaction, fee per transaction. So we discussed those revenue models. Right, fifth one. Identify and write down a possible way to make payments within the e-commerce marketplace. Of course, there are so many. Credit card payments, mobile cash payments within the e-commerce marketplace. So another possibility is obviously cash on receive, but because they say within the e-commerce marketplace, I will say a credit card or back online payment, mobile payment. I'll go for those two. Or even cash on delivery is a possibility. Okay. Let's see the marking scheme answers. Credit or debit card or any payment gateway or electronic payment. That is 1 point. E-banking or internet banking, mobile banking. Okay. Through the third-party payment facilities. Third party means there are some payment apps. So you can see that the cash on delivery, they have not mentioned. That is why I was reluctant to mention that also. Because the question says through the websites. Right? But anyway, these days cash on delivery is very famous. But anyway, examiner has not taken. So therefore, if you get a question like this, don't use that cash on delivery. Okay. Briefly explain how book publishing companies can use the proposed e-commerce marketplace data for their business. So they are talking about the e-commerce marketplace data. So that means sales data, the search data, maybe different customers search for different type of books, different authors. So then the book publishing company can get an idea about what are the demands, which author, which type of books have higher demand. Okay, because it's talking about the data of the marketplace, not the transactions. Okay. Right. Briefly explain how the book publishing companies can use the proposed e-commerce marketplace data. So if book publishing company get an idea about the market trends, like market trends. So which categories of books have high market uh, demand, which authors have higher demand. So we can provide reports, statistics. Okay, that is the main data I feel. Let's see the answers. Analyzing high demand books, analyzing purchase trends, analyzing customer preferences, and so on. So similar answer. Right, so that is the A part. So B part is related to new technologies. This question is multi-agent system. So remember, agents is a software or sometimes software hardware combination that does something on behalf of humans. So rather than humans involved, these agent software can take those inputs through sensors and so on and does the processing and take actions through actuators and so on. Maybe the result is sending an SMS, some physical activity like movements, or maybe switch on a bulb, switch on an alarm, and so on. Right. Multi-agent systems can be useful when complex system interactions are implemented. The following diagram shows a simplified version of multi-agent system that manages the secure access to the server room of a data center. This is related to a server room of a data center. Okay, so this is server room door. The brief scenario of the usage is as follows. All authorized system engineers must use their access code, maybe secret code, which is 6-digit number to enter the restricted server room. So once a particular person enter the secret code only, the door is open. When the access is granted to the server room, a set of movable CCTV cameras, starts recording the server area. So it automatically starts recording. The processed data of the CCTV input are saved in the database. Interactions are shown in using A, B, C, P, Q, R arrows. Right? A, B, C, P, Q, R. Okay. Question 1. Identify the agent with no user interactions or self-autonomous in this setup. So which agent is self-autonomous? That is, that agent is working with other agents or other systems, but not with humans. Which agent? So obviously agent 1 is interacting with the user. You can see. And also giving output. But only there are 2 agents here. But second agent, you can clearly see that it interact with the first agent, database, and this particular device. No interactions with humans. Right? So therefore, which agent is the autonomous agent? Agent 2. Okay, agent 2. Let's look at the answer. Agent 2. Okay. Second one. Sense, compute, control. Sense, process, and take some actions, control actions. It is a widely used 3-step design style of agent-based system implementation. From A, B, and C interactions, separately identify and write down the most suitable interaction arrow to represent each of the steps: sense, compute, control. Okay. Out of ABC. A, B, C. A is sense. B is control. Control the door. Open or not. And C is processing. Processing with the help of database data. Maybe check whether the password is correct. Control. So sense A, B, control, and C, compute. Compute. Okay, let's see that is very easy question. A sense, B control, C compute. Correct. Right, C compute. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. Right. Third one. C and R interactions links are shown for the two directions. C and R. You can clearly see that C is bidirectional. C is bidirectional. R is bidirectional. Okay. The question is, explain the reason for the duplex. Duplex means bidirectional, right? Duplex links for both C and R interactions separately. Why is it bidirectional? That is your question. Why C and R are bidirectional? So C. So what is your answer? So your answer must be very specific. If you give general answers, you won't get marks. Right? Why it is two directions? So you need to tell which data is going from agent to the database, which data you are getting. Okay. So, and also use the words you in your scenario. Um, access code, right? So you are sending the access code. Why this is bidirectional? We send access code or 6-digit access code and return whether it is authenticated or not. Okay. Whether access granted or not. So therefore it must be two direction. We are sending some data, we get the result. So we get something like whether access code is valid or not. So therefore it must be two-way. Here, why R is two-way? Obviously, we are sending some signals for CCTV camera to activate and also maybe rotate, change direction. You can see movable CCTV camera. So that message we need to send to the camera. Then camera will send us the recording, which we are sending to the database. So therefore, it must also be two because we activate and control and we get the recording. Simple question, okay? Camera input feed, camera control commands. Database read, write. Actually, there's no write. Therefore, this is not a very good answer. Actually, we send some data like access code and we get the response, whether that access code is valid or not. Actually, that should have been the better answer. Actually, we don't write in this scenario. Therefore, the marking scheme answer is not that good. Right, next one. Interactions A can be seen as user to agent interactions. Is it? Yes, user to agent. Enter your access code. Identify an agent-to-agent interaction and explain the operational use of that interaction. So the agent-to-agent interaction is obviously this particular interaction. Okay. So this agent, after getting the access code and authenticate, if it is valid code, then agent 1 inform agent 2 to what? Activate the camera. So agent 1 interact with agent 2 or message agent 2 to activate the camera. Then of course the recordings are written to the database. So that is what agent 1 to agent 2 interaction. Signal activation of the camera. Right. Performing agent 2 to operate. So that is basically the Agent 2 to operate means giving that instruction to agent 2 to activate the camera. So this is very general answer. I gave a little bit more specific answer. Right. It's a huge question. Right. Right. Last question. Give one reasons as to why CCTV inputs are sent to the database through agent 2 instead of sending directly. Why is it this data sent through agent 2 rather than the camera directly send it to the database? Yes, it's sent through the agent 2. From agent 2, it goes to database. That is saving the recordings. Okay. Any reason? It's not a very straightforward question. We need to think and answer. Let's say give one reason as to why CCTV inputs are sent to the database. Database through agent 2. Maybe agent 2 can do some processing. Do some processing of the data and then save it into the database. That is one reason. I don't see any other reason. Right? So you can process it and save to the database. Let's see the answer. Right. CCTV raw data input needs to be processed before storage to database. Processing allows data reduction, annotations, and other value-added functions. So the first sentence is the critical one. If you write the first sentence, you should get full marks. Then you can provide some additional details about what kind of processing. Okay, the option. Right, that's it. Third question. Okay. Right, so now we are into the fourth question. Right, so let's move on to the fourth question. It's a programming question. The ICT teacher in a school needs to process the marks obtained by all the students in a class for the ICT subject and compute the average marks for the class. So the main task is compute the average mark for the class. Construct a flow chart to express an algorithm for this purpose. Assume that the first input is the number of students in the class n. Next, the marks of n students will be input one by one. Right, so that you need to now come up with a first input is number of students, then your task is get the n number of inputs. Then at the end, calculate the marks and display it. So that is super simple question, okay? Okay, let's quickly draw it, flow chart. Right, so your flow chart must start and ends. Start. So then first input is, you remember input is parallelogram. Say input n or number of students. Okay, so let's try to use the same words as in your question. We can say input n. Okay, input n. But what about the flowchart is already given, right? Is it a different flowchart? Yeah, that is a different flowchart. I'll say input n. So now we have the n. Now we can do it for n number of times, 1 to n or 0 to n minus 1. Okay. So let's say I equal 1 or counter, or C or counter. Okay. I equal 1. Now n is already there. Okay. So if I less than or equal to n. If it is true, we do this. If it is false, we stop input data. I is less than or equal to n. 1, 2, 3, 4. Say n is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. And now you need to input marks. Right? And that marks you need to add to the total. So therefore, we need to have another variable here. Okay. N is already there. Let's have another variable. So you better draw it in a pencil if possible first, but your all answers must be in pen, ink, okay, at the end. So let's say sum or total is initially 0. Okay. So now I can input marks, input marks or M, and then I can say total T equal T plus M, and then M equal M plus, sorry, I equal I plus 1. It's a super easy question anyway. I equal I plus 1. So then you need to get back to this condition. Okay. So now at the end, when it is false, now you have the total. Now you need to do the calculation for average. So average equal or total divided by I. And then we can print average. I prefer to take it here because I don't have space. I just draw it, but I prefer to take this arrow here and draw the rest of the stuff here. Okay. Say print A, and then that's it. Always you must have these arrows. Okay. Any questions about that? That is anyway very super simple question, right? Very typical question. Let's look at the answer. Start input 10, I equal 1. Sum initialized to 0. That we did also. Right. I call it total. Then input 10. Sum is sum plus m. Okay. So this is overcomplicated diagram anyway. I don't know why they did like this. Okay. So basically the examiner has overcomplicated your diagram. Right? I don't know why they did like this. Okay. This is a terrible flow chart. So don't do this kind of flow charts. Maybe this because this little bit older paper. So this is very unorganized flow chart. I don't know why they gave this something like this. Okay. So anyway, so this flow chart is much more compact and clear. Okay, much more. So anyway, this flow chart you should get full marks. And this flow chart is much clearer than this one. Okay. Anyway, this one is also doing the same thing. Right? When I is less than n, you do. When I become equal to n, you calculate the average and print it. Okay. A little bit disorganized flow chart. So this one is much compact and clear flow chart. Okay. Doing the same thing. Right. So let's move to our next question, or the second part of the question. So if I get this kind of questions, I will always do the programming question because then there's no fussiness. You are supposed to get the full marks. Right, it's B part. Consider the flowchart given below. Note that X percentage 2 represent X mod 2. Questions. What would be the output if the first input n was 6 and the next inputs were 3, 6, 4? First one is 6. And then you get, 3, 6, 4, 3, 6, 4, 12, 11, 9. Right, those are the inputs. Now, question is, what is the output? What would be the output? Right, so let's do it. It should be very easy. Remember, n is 6. Okay, n is 6. Right, you get the first input. Now, x is 3, n is 6, x is 3. 3 mod 2 is not 0 here because mod 2 is 0 when it is even number. 3 is not even number. So it is not yes, it is no. So therefore now n is n minus 1. Now my n is 5. N is 5. X is obviously 3. Right, x is 3. Okay, n is n minus 1. N is now 5. And then again, is n less than or equal to 0? Yes. Sorry, n is less than or equal to 0. That is, if n is less than or equal to 0, you just output a. Right? Of course, we know that n is not 0. Okay. So therefore, but don't worry about this for the time being because n is 6. And now n is 5 actually. Right. So therefore, we come here and read the next one. 6. 6 is even number. So therefore, 6 is added to the a. Sorry, 6 is added to now a is a plus 1. A is a plus 1. So a is 0 originally. Now a is 1. Now n is n minus 1. N is now 4. Of course, n is less than or equal to 0 is no. Now input the third one. X is 4. 4 mod 2 is 0. It's an even number. So therefore, it comes here. Now a is a plus 1. A is 3. Sorry, a is 2. N is n minus 1. N is 3. Again, you go there. Input x. That is 12. 12 is an even number. A is added. A is now 3. And n is now 2. N is 2. Yes, 2 is less than or equal to 3. So no. Now input 11. 11 mod 2 is not 0. Therefore, you go there and n is now 1. Input the next one, that is 9. 9 is odd number. It doesn't come here. N is n minus 1. N is 0. Is it less than or equal to 0? Yes. So now it goes there and print out A. By the time A is 3. Basically, it count how many odd numbers are out of these. How many odd numbers? 3, 11, and the other 9. Okay, 3, 11, and 9. So the final output will be 3. Right? So the final output is 3. How many odd numbers are there? Super simple question. Answer is 3. Okay. What is the purpose of this algorithm? So this algorithm will first input the number of input elements and then facilitate input that number of inputs, and it counts and it displays number of even inputs or number of even inputs. So it inputs set of number. First it take the number of inputs, then it input that given number of inputs and print the number of odd inputs there, something like that. Okay. Count the number of, sorry, not odd inputs, even inputs. Sorry. Okay. Count the number of even inputs in the list. Print the number of even inputs in the list. Super simple. Develop a Python program to implement the algorithm expressed by flowchart. So because this is super simple, I'm not going to write the Python program because it is given in your marking scheme. Because this is a kid stuff. Okay. This is a kid stuff. Just use the mod operator. Mod operator. Right. So that's it. That question. Okay. Right. So now we are into the fifth question. Fifth question. The vehicle rental company, just give me 1 minute. Right. Question number 5. The vehicle rental company has registered vehicle owners. Vehicles are obtained from the owners and rented to the customers. Consider the following relations regarding the vehicle rental company. So you have the customer details. Possibly this must be the identifier or the key. Customer name, city and postal code. Vehicle owner, owner ID, owner name, contact number. Vehicle, maybe this is the identifier. Description, and this should be the foreign key, owner ID. Okay. Right. The customer relation contains customer's national identity card, which is unique. Name, city, where he or she is living, and the postal code of the city. The customer lives in a single city, and there are many customers in one city. Okay. The postal code depends on the city. Postal code depends on the city. So this depends on this. So that is bit of not a very good thing to have both, because it's transitive dependence. Remember, violation of third normal form. So now all those things we have done. First normal, second normal, third normal. Right. So there's a small issue here. The vehicle owner relation contains the owner ID, which is unique, owner's name, and the contact number. That is fine. The vehicle relation contains the vehicle registration number, which is unique, a description about the vehicle, and the owner ID. Right. So that is also fine. And this one has a bit of issue because postal code depends on the city. And one customer is in one city, there can be many customers. The customer can rent more than one vehicle. Right? One customer can rent more than one vehicle. Now remember, rentable is not there. Also, it is possible to rent one vehicle to many customers. Okay. One vehicle to many customers at different instances. Each vehicle is owned by one owner. For one vehicle, one owner. And one owner can have more than one vehicles. In which normal form, you can see normal form question is there. In which normal form do the above relation given in 1, 2, and 3 above exist? Justify your answer. So you need to take 1, 2, 3 separate. One which normal form, second one which normal form, third one which normal form. So the first one, the obvious issue is There's a transitive dependence. So therefore, it is in second normal form. All the fields are uh, atomic. So therefore, first normal form is preserved. And fields depends on full key, of course, because this is a single primary key, single field primary key. Second normal form is there, but third normal form is violated. Here, first normal form is not violated because one contact number. They have not mentioned whether there's a possibility of multiple contact numbers. So therefore, I can say it's in its third normal form also. Uh, but under assumptions, I will write assume that only one contact number is taken. So assuming that it is in third normal form. Uh, so this one is obviously third normal form. So usually we don't go beyond third normal form. Because of this issue, first table is in second normal form only. Okay, let's see the examiner's answers. Right, so this is in second normal form. Oh, so this is third normal form, that is fine. But what about this? And it says anyone know both. So therefore, don't worry. So this one is correct, this one is correct. But this one, examiner has taken second normal form. I took it as third normal form. But anyway, I get the full marks because examiner has mentioned that any one of these. Most probably because this is controversial answer. Examiner has marked. Okay. Now let's see why examiner says this is in second, not third. As all non-key attributes are fully functional, dependable on the primary key, there are transitive dependencies. So which one is the transitive dependency? Which one is transitive? So I don't agree with this. But anyway, the answer marking schema says take 2 and 3, third normal, or 2 and 3, second normal, give marks to all. I took 2 and 3 as third normal, but I don't see any possibility of this is second normal. I don't know how the examiner came up with this, but anyway, examiner is not uh, unfair, though this is, I don't agree, because examiner says those who mark second normal, so those who mark third normal give full marks. But still I prefer third normal because this is the one that is in second normal, relation one. Okay, because I don't see any possibility of third normal for me. Okay, because this is vehicle law, this is vehicle. Anyway, I'll go for second and third. I'll always go for third normal. Right, next question. Convert the above relation to the next normal form from the current normal form, which you stated in 5A. Present the contents relevant to the label PU indicated in the following table as your answers. Okay, so what is this? Next normal form. So next normal form, in my case, for the first one, next normal form will be third because it is in the second normal form. Relations in the next normal form. In the next normal form, that is third normal form, still you have customer, then maybe customer, how do you call it? Customer table is still there. Customer, then you need a table for these postal codes for cities. Because cities, we need to take it to a different table because of this transitive dependence. Maybe cities, yes, something like cities. But because my answer for these things are so already third normal, so therefore I say third, still third, and of course no new table, just the normal table is enough. That is vehicle owner and vehicle owner. That is the existing table, and here the existing table which is vehicle, because we cannot go into anything for that. It's a strange question anyway. Let's see the answer. Next normal form is the normal customer. Now you can see postal code they have not taken, and I just call it city, but examiners call it customer city. So that is you have the postal code density. Okay. So here no new table, just the existing table, because and it says it cannot be normalized further from third normal form. Okay. This is just the given table because it's already in the third normal. And again, it is already in the third normal, so therefore you don't need to do any change. Now here they say it's in the third normal, but here they say second normal is also correct. I don't know why. But anyway, they are already in the third normal form. No need to do any change. Just use the table. This is the existing table. This is the existing table. Right, C part. Draw an ER diagram to depict the above relations by identifying the relationships, key attributes, other attributes, and the cardinality. You need to draw ER diagram. ER diagram. And you need to draw it for the normalized ER design, okay? So we need the customer table. So whether it's a design ER or normal ER, that is an issue. After normalization, usually we draw the other ER, but just say ER diagram. Should we normalize and draw? Should we draw as it is? That is the question. Okay, let's draw it as it is. Right? Because it's not very clear. Question is not very clear. Okay. Right. So then I will start with customer because they don't talk about normalize here. Customer, customer NIC, customer name. You need to mark this. NIC, identify, underline it. Customer name, I will keep as it is because they don't say whether to normalize or not. Therefore, I'll go as it is, okay? I don't know. Customer name, city. City. Postal code, I will take it because I'm not very sure whether it is normalized one. Okay, that is customer. Do they expect the connecting tables? So the question is not very clear. You should know. Anyway, so let's have the car. Vehicle. Vehicle has vehicle registration number, description, owner ID. Vehicle registration number, description, owner ID. Owner ID is a foreign key. Right? And then we have vehicle owner. Let me draw it here. Vehicle owner. Owner ID, owner name, contact number. owner ID, vehicle name. Oh, vehicle name. The owner name, contact number. Vehicle name, owner name. And contact number. Show it properly. And this is your identifier. So vehicle owner can have many vehicles. One vehicle belong to one owner. Vehicle owns by something meaningful. And it is 1 to n. One vehicle belong to one owner can have many vehicles. Okay. And here, customer and vehicle, actually there will be a connecting table later on. That is a rent. But I will just draw normal ER. One customer can order many vehicles at different rental. One vehicle can be given to many customers, like M to N. A customer rent a vehicle, something like minimum, okay? And so there will be some additional attributes here. If they are mentioned anything like that, I will add it because this will be a connecting table later on. So those are not mentioned. So therefore, I just keep it as it is. But there will be some additional attributes later on, and this will be a table. Okay. I will go for this because I assume it is not for normalized design ER, normal ER. Okay. Let's see. Yes, it's a normal ER. Right. Customer table is correct. Customer NIC is the identifier. Other field is there. And they have added the customer city. So usually we don't do this kind of things in a analysis diagram, but they have, you can see, maybe because they mentioned about that customer lives in customer city, there you have the city and postal code. And one customer city mentioned by many customers. So I did not do that because I thought they are interested in pure analysis. Yeah, but examiner has added that. So let's see if the examiner has given marks for this. And here, this is one to many. And this is fine. And this is fine. And this is also fine. It's a many to many. Many to many. These things they have not mentioned it. Maybe later. But පස්සේ when mention කළා. තාම නෑ. You can see alternative answer for part D. මේක මේ පස්සේ එන එකක්. So the only thing missing in my answer is this part. I did not mention this because I thought that is later design related things. But examiner has considered this also. I think I should have mentioned considered this because it is directly mentioned in the description. Directly mentioned in the description. So therefore, I may lose maybe 1 marks not showing this because it is mentioned in the description that customer can be in one city, city can have many customers and so on. Okay. Actually, I should have added this. Right. So that is, let's see how the marks are allocated. 1 marks per relation, vehicle owner. For rent and owner, you get 2 marks. Right? 2 marks. So that means no marks for this relation. 1 mark for correctly denoting all the 3 keys. 3 keys means this key, this key, this key. So that means still no marks allocated for this because still my tape ER diagram has 3 keys. One mark for completeness, spelling, case spacing, and so on. So you can see they have not mentioned this directly. So therefore, even without this, I should get full marks. But if you go for exams, if they have mentioned something like that, include that also to the ER. But in that tier, even without this, I should get the full marks according to the marking scheme because they are given marks for 3 identifiers and so on. Okay. Right. Next question. D. It is necessary for the company to keep the details of the renting vehicles by customers. Create a relation called rent, including the details, rent date, start time, end time. So now you need to introduce the table called rent. I told you obviously yes, we need to because this is a to many. You need a connecting table. So that connecting table must have, we can call it rent table. So customer ID, customer NIC, that is part of the primary key. From here, vehicle ID. So it's a composite key. Right. Then additional things like rent date uh, and so on. But minimum you need to have maybe rent date. Okay. Including, yes, rent date, start time, end time. So you need to include rent date, start time, end time. Okay. Right. Create a relation. You can use either this approach or you can show it in the ER diagram itself. Okay. Normally this approach I use. You can see composite primary key and the additional 3 attributes they have mentioned. So I should get full marks. A customer now NIC and vehicle registration number, combination, then the other 3 attributes given in the question. It's a very easy question, okay? Right. E, write an SQL statement to select the owner ID and vehicle registration number of all the vehicles owned by each vehicle owner. Should be a group by. Right. Owner ID and vehicle registration number of all the vehicles owned by each vehicle owner. So we need to use this connecting table. Because the connection table has customer ID and, sorry, not customer ID, vehicle owner. No, you don't need a connecting table because vehicle owner can have many vehicles. Vehicle belong to one vehicle. Yeah, so you don't need the connecting table because this is for customer side. This is the owner side. Okay. Yeah, so you don't need a connecting table. Owner ID and vehicle registration number of all the vehicles owned by each owner number. Owner ID is here. Vehicle registration number is also here. Therefore, you don't need to refer to this table. Just vehicle table is enough. So how to write it? Select owner ID, vehicle registration number, only those 2 fields, right? So therefore, I'll say, okay, from vehicle, that is, because single table, I don't need to refer to the table name. I'll just say owner ID, comma, vehicle registration number. Vehicle registration number from vehicle, maybe order by, sorry, group by, should be group by. All right. Yeah, maybe group by. I think better to group by. Own ID. Right, to select statement, own ID and vehicle registration number of all the vehicles owned by each vehicle owner. Okay. So if you want, you can sort it, but they have not mentioned the sorting. Select own ID vehicle registration number from vehicle table, group by own ID. That is my SQL. I can do it in one table. They ask you to, no, these are alternative answers. Okay. So either you use this or you write the create table, but this is too much work. So therefore I did not write the create table statement. I just wrote it like this right here. Select own ID, vehicle registration number from vehicle, group by own ID. So that is exactly what I wrote. Or if even if the group by party is not there, still examine as given marks, but better to go for group by own ID. Okay. Right. So that's it. That's it. Last question number 6. Right, it's about data flow diagram. Not data flow, actually, it's a context diagram, right? The context diagram. Yeah, context diagram. First, read the question. The context diagram for the above activities with missing data flows PQRS T is given figure 1 below. Okay. So there are some missing things. PQRST. Okay. Uh, so then there's a second part which is data flow diagram. It looks simple question. Okay. Right. So let's read. A blood testing center has the following activities. Patient hands over the test request slip to the receiving counter. Patient hand over the test request slip to the receiving counter. Receiving counter is, sorry, receiving counter issues an invoice to the patient. So then the receiving counter issues an invoice to the patient and sends a copy to the cashier. So it sends the copy to the cashier. The patient checks the invoice. Patient checks the invoice, approves it, and hands it over to the cashier with the payments. Cashier issues a receipt number to the patient and also sends copy to the receipt, copy of the receipt to the laboratory. Patient hands over the receipt to the laboratory. The laboratory verifies the patient and conduct the blood test and returns the updated receipt mark as done to the patient. The laboratory sends the report to the receiving counter. Laboratory. Later, the patient hands over the updated receipt to the receiving counter and receiving counter hands over the report to the patient with the re-updated receipt mark as issued. So it's a very typical scenario, right? So it should be very easy, right? So now let's try to fill it. Patient blood testing system. So blood testing system includes laboratory, cashier, okay? But those are hidden because this is a context diagram, big picture diagram, okay? Right. Uh, so first one is coming from patient to the blood testing. So this is approved invoice and payment. Okay, right. So let's read and see whether the third one fit into this and fifth one, right? So let's find the first one. Patient hands over the request slip to the receiving counter, right? So this must be test request slip. Test request slip that is taken from the doctor. So then the blood testing system must give what? Receiving counter issues an invoice to the patient. So therefore, this should be invoice. Now the patient need to approve the invoice and so is it okay? And sends a copy to the cashier. So that part is not there because that is internal thing. The patient check the invoice, approves it and hands it over to the cashier with the payment. So that is already there. Approved invoice and payment. So that means these two are okay. Then R. payment, cashier issues a receipt to the patient and also sends a copy to the receipt to the laboratory. That means receipt. So now system give receipt to the patient. Receipt. Okay. And the other things are not mentioned here because now the blood test is done. That is not part of the this context diagram. Okay. Uh, so the what's cashier sent to the laboratory, laboratory sent to the cashier, those things are not mentioned because those are inside the system. Context diagram is system and outside it. So then patient hands over the receipt to the laboratory. So this is this one. Now patient hands over the receipt to the laboratory because he got the receipt from the cashier. So then test is done and updated receipt is given to the patient. Okay. Laboratory sends the report, blood test and returns the updated receipt mark as done to the patient. The laboratory sends the report to the receiving counter. That is internal thing, not mentioned in the context diagram. Later, patient hand over the updated receipt. Right. Updated receipt is handed over to the. So therefore, this must be what updated receipt that patient got. Now patient has to give it back when the report is ready. Updated receipt. Okay. Now patient should get the test results. The patient hands over the updated receipt to the receiving counter and sorry. The receiving counter hands over the report to the patient with re-updated receipt marked as issued. So that is re-updated receipt and also the report. So the other one must be report. Right. Other one must be report. We could have written it in the same line, but because there's another one, we will take it as report. Right. That's it. Now let's double check the answers. Test request slip, invoice receipt, test invoice receipt, updated receipt and report. Yes, updated receipt and report. So we should get full marks. Okay. Right. So anyway, that's very easy question. Right. Question number 2. Level 1 of the DFD for the above context diagram is shown in figure 2. This is a level 1 DFD. Now you can see the sub-processes like cashier and so on, right? Testing, laboratory. Still patient is there. Now it's a level 1. Now the internal system, its sub-processors, data stores must be visible. But for strange reason, the no data stores are shown. Anyway, what you're supposed to do? Write a suitable term to replace the label W in process 2.0. Process 2.0 is this W. So this is patient. This is process blood test request. This is process report. Maybe this is process payment. Anyway, so let's see. But that is the only thing remaining, right? Okay, we'll double check later. I'll say process payment for the time being. We'll see whether there are conflicts. Okay. Oh, we updated receipt, updated receipt. Okay, let's see. Still, this is not finalized. Identify and write down the missing data flows label X. Just 2 questions, right? Just 2 questions. X. What is this X? Patient to this. Is it payment? I doubt. Okay, let's see. Test request slip is given. Process blood test request. So then you get the invoice. Then this guy send it to the lab, right? This can't be payment. That is a strange question. Approved invoice and payment, receipt, updated receipt. Patient hand over the test strip to the receiving counter. So therefore, this is blood test request. Send the copy to the cashier. Send the copy to the cashier. Maybe this is the copy given to the send to the cashier. Okay, cashier. Yes, you are doing the payment. Then you get the updated receipt, and they send it to the maybe this is payment. Okay. Cashier issue the receipt to the payment and also send a copy to the receipt to the laboratory. Yeah, this is the receipt to the laboratory. Right. Receipt to the laboratory. Should be. Okay. And then you can see the patient give the receipt to the laboratory and get the updated receipt and so on. Yeah, maybe. So then what is X? So X must be invoice, right? Invoice. Because patient get the invoice. Assume this is payment. It looks like this is invoice. Okay. So for me, it looks like this is payment, and then you are giving the invoice to the payment process payment. So they already got the copy of the invoice from the counter. Then they give the paid invoice and update the laboratory. Then patient later go to the laboratory and do the test and get the results. Okay. Because this says process blood test request. They are not doing the testing, they are doing the initial request. So this should be the laboratory. So I'll go for payment, process payment, and here invoice. Let's see. It's payment. Yes. Approved invoice plus payment. I don't know why they mention payment. Basically, approved invoice means payment is already done because you don't go and do the payment to the laboratory. So this part, I don't think it is required. Maybe invoice, so better I should have used approved invoice. Okay, approved invoice. But usually you don't give the payment to the, this should not be, yeah, maybe yes, right? So this should be approved invoice and payment. Approved invoice and payment. I just mentioned it as invoice, but better invoice and payment. Okay. To the cashier or the process payment. Right. So next part. Right. A and B both are done now. Right. The final part. What is requirement analysis? Of course, requirement analysis is that is pure theory. Requirement analysis is gather. I will write all these steps. Requirement analysis involve gather requirements, analyze the requirements, model, document, and verify. So that is the, if you take requirement analysis as big task. Okay, big task. So I say requirement analysis is a task to understand the requirement, which involve gather, analyze, model, document, and verify. Something like that. Okay. Or I will explain a little bit more like analysis involve getting the big picture, identify the big picture, categorizing requirements and see how the requirements are interrelated and so on. Because you get enough space. It's always good to write first write your best short answer, then little bit elaborate. So if your short answer is correct, then examiner will not even read the rest of the stuff, give you the full marks. But if your short answer is not good enough, maybe your explanation gives more details, still you will get the full marks. So therefore, your first sentence, second two sentence must give the full answer, but additional things are just in case examiner is not convinced enough. See the marking scheme answer. Analyzing, finding the requirements of the information system before it's deployed. Finding the functional and non-functional requirements. Any of these one, right? Just one of these. Analyzing the requirements of the proposed system, studying and analyzing the user needs, define the problem domain and the system requirements, determine user expectation for a new modified. Because it's an open question, examiner has given so many different possible answers. But you better explain little bit detail so that you cover 2 or 3 of these points. Okay. List 2 advantages of requirement analysis. So what are the advantages of requirement analysis? Number 1 is during the requirement analysis, you understand the requirement. If you don't understand the requirement, you can't come up with solution. Proper understanding of the requirement. What else? So another purpose is sufficiently document the requirement. Another purpose is clarify and verify requirements. So it says 2. When they say 2, you better write 3 points. That is fine. So when they say 2 points, you can write 3 points. But write your best 2 points at the beginning. What are my best 2 points are understand the requirements, document the requirements, verify requirements. Those are my 3 points. But the examiner is expecting just 2. Okay. Right. So it has so many answers. Discover the system scope or boundary. Allows detect and resolve conflicts. That is what is verifying. Prioritizing the requirements. Deciding the critical success factors. Reduce the project implementation risk. Distinguish functional and non-functional requirements. So those are all possible answers. Right? Possible answers. And as long as your answer is good enough, even though it is not in the list, you should get the marks. You should get the marks. Right. Third one, give one method that can be used to verify whether a functional requirement is, now remember this is also part of the requirement analysis, verify, that is what I mentioned in my answer. Verify whether a functional requirement is satisfied in a system. So how do you know whether at the end, whether a particular functional requirement is satisfied? You test it. So you must have test cases for that functional requirement and see whether it is proper implemented. Right. Thorough testing based on functional requirement. So validation verification means again testing, another name for testing. Okay. So basically you need to test it. Right. So the final one. The following list consists of some functional, non-functional, and other requirements of a proposed school library management system, where users can borrow and return books in addition to the other usual tasks. Other usual task is students go and read books, but this support borrow and return books. Right? You need to identify whether each of these is as a functional requirement, non-functional requirement, or other requirement. Functional requirement means what? Functionalities. You can go through the notes again if you have forgotten these functionalities like logging, maybe reserve a book, borrow a book, return a book. So for this particular thing, those are the functionalities. Maybe pay fines for late submission, take some reports for the librarian. Those are functionalities. Non-functional requirements are typically quality attributes related to security, performance, user friendliness. The second category of non-functional requirements are related to maintainability, reusability, interoperability. So there are some requirements supporting those. And other requirements are pretty much management and business related things. Internal policies, internal standards. So anything not directly related to these things, those are more business and management related. Okay. First one, the system should authenticate users through username and password. Of course, this is related to security, but this is a functionality. If you can see there's a screen and blah, 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 it's a functionality. Though this is related to security, this is a screen, there's a screen for this. So therefore, it's a functional login functionality. So therefore, it's a functional requirement. The system should enable users to search for books based on the title type. So it's a functionality, search functionality. The total cost for the library system should less than 500,000. So that is management, financial, business related thing. Right? So it's other. The system should be available 99% of the total time. So that is not a functional requirement. That is availability, reliability, quality attribute, non-functional. The system development should be completed within 9 months. That is management related thing. That is other. That is their management and business requirement. Book lending details should be preserved even if the system crashed during operation. Of course, the book lending details must be saved is a functionality, but it says even if the system crashes. So that is more related to reliability. Reliability. Because of this last part, I would not take it as a functional, rather I will take it as a non-functional because it's more related to reliability. Even with when the system crashes, still the data must be there. The book database of the school library management system must be secured by preserving unauthorized access. That is authorization. So this is internally you need to implement these things. So this is not this is directly related to security, but this is not something the user can see a screen and something. So therefore, it's a non-functional requirement. Since the past pupils association has indicated its willingness to develop the system, preference will be given to them. So that is purely management decision. Other. Okay, other. Right. So let's see the answers. Functional requirements are A and B. Yes, A and B only. Yes, A and B only. Non-functional requirements, any two from DFG. D, F, G, yes, DFG. And the other, then of course the others are the, right, others are. So they have only given marks for marking the functional and non-functional. Of course, then the others will be other. Right, that's it. That's it about 2019 paper. Okay, 2019 paper. Right. So now we'll move on to 2000. Any questions on 2019 paper? Any questions? So if you don't have any questions, we can move on to the 2020 page. We'll move on to the MCQ. Now we can do even faster. Right, question number 1. Now you must have done these questions by yourself and also do at least 2 past papers with timing. Right? MCQ and also the other second paper. Can you do it within the time? Otherwise, you need to speed up. Right? So don't do too fast. At the same time, don't waste your time. And then you ended up with answering only, right, out of 40, maybe just 30 questions. Right, first one. And usually the first set of questions are easier. So try to do it faster because later questions will take more time. A computer processor will operate fastest when the data that it wants is in the cache memory, hard disk, magnetic tape, main memory, optical disk. Remember, cache memory is the closest. Closest to the processor. Closer to the processor, faster. Obvious answer is 1. Okay. So one answer is 3. How comes one answer is 3? This is 2020. Sorry, this is 2021 marking scheme. Sorry for that. Okay. 2020 marking scheme. So this one. Right. Answer is 1. Answer is 1. Right. Second one. Which of the following hardware component will lose data when the power to a computer is switched off? That is, remember volatile versus non-volatile. So that they're asking for no volatile storage. Registries, yes, it will lose volatile. Cache memory, yes. Main memory, yes. All are. Answer is 5. 5. Yes, 5. Those are easy question. Third one. Computer has evolved from the early mainframes to the relatively small smart devices with high computing power used today. Which of the following inventions contributed to reduce the physical size of the computer? Especially physical size is reduced due to transistor, right? Right. Bus, integrated circuit, that is IC, registries, solid state memory, that is flash memory, vacuum tube. So definitely not vacuum tube, right? So bus is a secondary state thing. It's basically transistor or IC. IC is thousands of transistors in a single chip. So therefore, what is the best answer? This is related to transistor, right? IC, integrated circuits. So IC is a single chip, small circuit having thousands of transistors. So that make it small. Okay. So I'll take 2. Yes, 2. Fourth one. Consider the following diagram showing some hardware component connections on a computer. The A in the above diagram denotes the, I remember I always read the question because this is you have to fight with time. Then I read the rest of the stuff. Okay. What they are interested is this A, which is inside the CPU. A hardware part within the CPU indicated by A in the above diagram has set of registries that has memory translation maps of the current running process. When given an input virtual address of the current process, it outputs the relevant physical address, that is memory translation unit. Okay. Yes, memory translation unit is part of the processor. Okay. Right. Arithmetic and logic unit, no, it does the processing. Control unit, no. L1 cache, no. Memory management unit, page table. So now I have 2 answers. Page table, memory management unit. But page table is usually kept in the memory. Mapping logical address to the, or remember the logical memory page to the physical memory frame. So therefore, memory management unit is the better answer. Okay, memory management unit. So that does the translation between logical memory to the physical memory. So therefore, I'll go for fourth one because this specifically mentioned about memory translation, physical memory address, virtual logical address to physical memory address. So when the examiner use the word virtual address, that usually they mean logical address. I'll go for fourth one. Yes, fourth one. Fifth one. Consider the 2 binary numbers. If x equal p or q, y equal p and q, what will be the values of x and y respectively? So it's very easy, but first we need POQ. 1, okay, let's write it like this: 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0. First I will do the O. 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. All 1. So these are wrong answers. The next one is N. 1 0 0 0 0 0. All are 0, right? Because no column has all 2, all 1. Answer is fourth one. Very easy question. Fifth one, 4. Sixth one. What is the 2's complement of minus 12? So first convert 12 into binary. 6 0 3 0 1 0 0 1. Go from down to up. 1 0 0 0. Okay. So they have taken it as 8 bits. So therefore I will prefix 4 bits. It's 2's complement. Now first you need to swap bits. That is 1's complement. Then add 1. So when you swap bits, you get 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. Then add 1. Add 1. You know how to add 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 means 0 giving 1. That 1 plus 1 is 2, 0 giving 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, 0 giving 1. That 1 plus 0 is 1, and this will be as it is. So the final answer is 5 ones and 3 zeros. Oh, we don't have that kind of thing. So let's see whether we made a mistake. So again, let's do 12. 12, 6 0 3 0 1. So 1 1 0 1. 0. That is 1 1 0 0. 6 0 3 0 1 1 0 1. Sorry, 1 1 0 0, right? Not 1 0 0. I made a mistake. 1 1 0 0. So there should be 1 here. So therefore this must be, there's another 0 here. And now when I add, I made a small mistake previously. Now add 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 means 0 giving 1. 1 plus that 1 is 2. 2 means 0 giving 1. And that 1 plus 0 is 1. And these things are as it is. So this is the answer. Earlier I made a mistake by converting 4 ones. 4 ones. This is not answer. This is not answer. This is not answer. 4 ones. 0 1 double 0. So this is the answer. 6 answer is 4. Yes. So earlier I made a mistake when I do the binary conversion. Okay. So then swap bits, add 1. Binary addition. Right. Seventh question. Which of the following is true about 2's complement? Remember, 2's complement is used because then in the computer, subtraction operation is also addition. It's just adding negative number and positive number. An extra bit is used to represent the sign. No, there's nothing called sign bit. Of course, if the leftmost bit is 1, it's a negative number, but it is not called sign bit in 2's complement. Okay. Makes it possible to build low-cost, high-speed hardware to perform arithmetic operation. That is in a way correct because there's nothing called subtract operation. So then all you need is only add the operations. Let's see whether there are better answers, but for the time being, I will take this. Because you just need add operation for whole numbers. Addition and subtractions are used as 2 different operations. No, it's used as 1 operation. That is the whole purpose of 2's complement. Usually represented in hexadecimal, no, binary. Used in first generation computers, no. It's used in even modern computers. So obviously I settle for second one. Make it possible to build low cost, high speed hardware because there's nothing called a subtract operation. So reducing one operation. So I'll go for 2, 7, 2. Yes, 7, 2. Eighth question. Consider the character representations in table 1 and table 2 given below. Single characters, Tamil characters should be Unicode. In which of the character encoding system given below, the above characters in table 1 and table 2 are represented. So these things cannot be represented in ASCII. Okay. Can't be ASCII. Can't be ASCII. Because ASCII doesn't support single Tamil. It only supports basic English letters and basic letters in the characters in the keyboard. So both table 1 and 2 must be uniform. So 8 I'll go for 2. Yes, 2. Ninth. Which of the following is the most simplified expression for this? Right. So try to simplify this using the rules. You know 23 rules. And see first. Okay, let's see. Uh, uh, uh. Yes, if I take C bar here, I can see a pattern. Right. So if I take C bar, that is B plus, I will take this first. B bar A plus, if I take C here, I'll write B first. B plus B bar A bar. Now this is like, remember A plus AB is A. Then A plus A bar B is A plus B. Remember the two rules? And now this is something like X plus X bar Y. A plus A bar B. Right? X plus X bar Y. This bar and something. That is same as A plus B. This and this. So therefore this is same as B plus A or A plus B. So therefore this is C bar B plus A or A plus B. Because A plus B plus B bar A or B plus A plus A bar B is A plus B. This is B plus B bar A, other way. And what about this? This is also X plus X bar Y. X plus X bar Y is X plus Y. So therefore this is B plus A bar. C dot B plus A bar. Do we have that, or we can further simplify? C bar, no, that is not there. Or can we further simplify? Can we further simplify? Do we have this one at least? C bar, no. AB bar. Or else we need to go for a Carnot map. Right, Carnot map. Should we go for Carnot map otherwise? Yes, I'll go for Carnot map quickly because I'm not very sure whether this is the simplest. Okay, let's go for Carnot map. Let's go for Carnot map. I thought we can do it faster, but we'll do. Let's say A, B, C, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Remember, after 0, 1, you can write 1, 0 and 1, 0. So this is 1, 0, 0. Okay. And this is like 1, because there's only nothing, A is not there. Okay. Therefore, this is 0. So this is 1, 0. 1, 0. And this is 0, 0, 1. And this is 1, 1. But the other one is not there, right? A is not there. A is not there means A is not there means take that condition. I can transfer these two. I can write this as A plus A bar. A plus A bar is 1. 1 dot something is same. So that means this with 0 and this with 1. Remember, I can write this as BC bar dot 1. Dot 1 I can write A plus A bar. So then BC bar A, BC bar A bar. So therefore this is for 0 is also correct, 1 also correct. Therefore I write it as 0 as well as 1. Here also 0 as well as 1. Okay. And now let's fill it because both are correct. Because it's like A plus A bar. Here also A plus A bar. Then I get two terms. And now let's fill it. 1 0 0. That is this. 1 1 0. That is this. 1 1 0. 1 0 1. That is this. 1 0 1. And 0 0 1. That is this. 1 1 1. That is this. 0 1 1. That is this. So then these are zeros. Okay, these are zeros. So then I can mark the regions because I should get the answer quickly now. So this is the big region and this is my other region. So then it covers everything. So what about this? 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 1, 1 1 0. What is not changed? Only this. That is A. From here we get A. From this one, sorry, from this one we get 0 0 1, 0 1 1, 1 0 1, 1 1 1. So they are only change, not change one is C. So therefore ultimately it reduced to here A, here C. So that is A plus C. But A plus C is not answer. Is it correct? 1 0 0, 1 1 0, 0 1 0, 0, oh, 0 1 0, 0 1 0 must be 1. How comes that? This must be 1, right? 0 1 0, right? So I completely mess it. So let's redraw it. Right. So let's take one by one again. Let's redraw this because I mess it. Right. 1 0 0. 1 1 0. That is this. 0 1 0. That is this. 0 1 0. I think now only I show it correctly. Then 0 0 1. 1 1 1. 0 1 1. That is, so then this is 0, this is 0. Okay. Right. So now only I put it into the correct Carnot map. So we are supposed to get more regions now. Right. So this is one region, obviously. Then I can go for these two. And then I can go for this and this. Okay. Let's take this one first. ABC 100, and this one is 110. That is AC bar. AC bar. Okay. So what about this? 001 011. So that means A bar C, A bar C. Then the big one, ABC 011 010 111 110. So that is only the B. So the final answer must be B plus AC bar plus A bar C. B plus AC bar plus A bar C. This is the answer. Of course, by simplifying this also you should get it, but I thought it is faster to put it into the Carnot map. But remember when something is missing, because there are only two terms, so that means you need to take it as A plus A bar. So then A B C bar, A bar B C bar. That is why 1 with this, 0 with this. So this is basically two terms. That's what I did is BC bar, I wrote it as BC 1 dot BC bar, because 1 dot something is same. Then 1 I wrote it as A plus A bar. So then I get it as A B C bar plus A bar B C bar. So that is why I got two terms, 0, 1 with A bar B C. Here also I did the same. So basically if you have missing statement, you need to take it as two statements, one with 0, one with 1. Okay, so that is why I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements here, 6 ones. Then I mark the regions and I quickly got this. Earlier I made a small mistake by marking. Okay. Right. So definitely answer must be fourth one. Ninth one answer must be fourth. Yes, answer is fourth. Okay. Right. 10th one. A block diagram of a sequential logic circuit is shown below. Sequential, remember, we can subdivide into combinational, sequential. Combination means output depends only on input. Sequential means output depends both input and previous output. Okay. So this is sequential. This is combinational. Output depends only on input, but this is combinational. Uh, you have input, but your output is also input. So there are two inputs, your normal input and previous output. Okay. Right. A block diagram of a sequential logic. This is a sequential. So that means output is also input. Shown below with one block labeled as A and the other block labeled as B. Which of the following statement about the above block diagrams are correct? The block A is combinational logic circuit. Block A. Now you can see that block A's output depends on input, but it indirectly depends on the output as well because it has to go through this. So this is a very fussy question, not a very good question as well. But indirectly you can see that output of A depends on previous output of A as well because it goes through like this and come back. So therefore I will say no. I feel it like A is sequential because indirectly it is output is fed as input. The block B is memory element. You can see that its output is fed it, and so if there's a refresh, this kind of self loops, it's basically a memory element, right? It's a memory element. But there's no direct input, but anyway, it indirectly controlled by this input, right? So therefore, it looks sort of a yes. Usually sequential components are memory elements. Okay? Right. Only the block K can implement using logic gates. No. Both sequential and combinational, sequential, anything can be implemented using logic gates. It's a very fussy question, but I'll go for two. Only two. Let's see whether that answer is correct. It looks like a very fussy question. Okay. 10th question. Examiner's answer is 3. So that means only 1 and 2. Why is that? 10. Why is that? Examiner has taken 1 also. What is 1? Block A is a combinational logic circuit component. Combinational. Maybe the reason is this output is not directly fed. Rather, it is fed through other things. Maybe that is the reason. Okay. So yes, this is fed. Output is fed, but not directly fed. Usually in latches and so on, flip-flops, it is directly fed. I think that is the reason why uh, they have taken A as a combinational circuit, not a sequential circuit. I thought it is a combination. It's not a combinational because indirectly it is fed, but I think not because it is not directly fed. Still, they have considered A as a combinational circuit. That is why they have taken answer as 1 is also taken as us. So in the exams, if there's no if it is an indirect fed, don't consider it as sequential. But if it is directly the output is fed, and then take it as sequential. Otherwise, just take it, still take it as combination. Okay, that should be the logic here. Okay, right. So 11th one. Consider the following logic circuit consisting NAND gates. If the required output of the above circuit is AB plus A bar B bar plus C bar, then the value should what should be the value, what should the input X and Y be? So you won't find out what is X and Y. Okay. So the final output must be AB plus A bar B plus C bar. Okay. And obviously this is AB bar. AB bar. Okay. But there's no AB bar here. Right. AB bar is not there. So therefore it's a tricky question. Maybe after simplifying, you get this. Okay. After simplifying. It's an AND gate. Maybe one option is just substitute and simplify and see whether we get this. It's a time-consuming question. Don't do this upfront. When you get this kind of a question, just keep it in the first round and later do it. Maybe you can do it, but it will take time of 3 or 4 questions. Okay. So that is why we want to do quickly and then revisit this. Okay. But anyway, I'm not doing it in the exam, so therefore I will do it with you. But in the exam, don't do this kind of questions in the first round. Okay. This kind of a question, not all the logic question. It will take time. But now I am not in exam, so therefore I do it. Now, if X is B and Y is C, what happens? So this is A B bar. This is A bar B bar, then, and then this is C. So then final answer will be A B bar dot A bar B bar dot C, it's bar. Okay. Is it going to simplify this? Then AB bar bar, that is AB, plus this bar bar is A bar B plus C bar. Is that the answer? No. That is not the answer, because once the answer is AB plus A bar B bar. No. So therefore, first one is not answer. Let's take the second one then. Second one. So second one assumes it is X is B, Y is C bar. Then this is A B bar, this is A bar B bar, and this is C bar. Then this is A B bar dot A bar B bar dot C bar, and its bar. So then answer is bar of this is AB, Bar of this become this bar get cancelled. A bar B plus bar becomes C. That is also not the answer. That is also not the answer. Now let's take the third one. Definitely I can find the answer, but it takes time. X is B bar, Y is C. Now it is A B bar, A bar, B bar, and C. A B bar dot A bar, B bar dot C bar. Then this is A B, bar is cancelled. This bar cancelled dot A bar, B bar plus C bar. Yes. A B plus A bar, B bar plus C bar. I got the answer. Answer is third. 11th, I will go for third. Yes, 11th answer is third. 12th. The OS is another program that runs on the computer that has some special responsibilities. Yes. Memory management, file management, input-output management are some of those responsibilities. What is another important responsibility of OS? Memory management, file management, input-output management. Another one is process management or program management. Right? Process management. Right? Fourth one. Fourth. 13th. When the number of processors started by a user on a single processor computer increases, what happens to the response time of each process as perceived by the user? That means how the user feel it, and the memory management related work of the operating system respectively. So when more and more processors are running, because the time slots are given, you will feel like each process is getting slower and slower. And when more and more memory is needed, more and more virtual memory will be used because the memory may not be required. Memory may not be sufficient. Right? Let's see the answer. Both the response time and the memory management related work increases. Yes. Response type increase, memory management related work increase. Memory management work increase because of the need for use virtual memory. Response type decrease, no. Response time increase while the memory management related work decrease, no. Both the response time and memory management related decrease, no. There's no change, no. Answer is 1. Answer is 1. 14th. Which of the following is not responsibility of operating system? Allocating physical memory to process. It's a responsibility. Deciding which process to run. Yes, scheduler. Keeping track of the usage of compiled program files on hard disk. Sort of a yes, keeping track of all the files. Keeping track of which part of the physical memory are in use, which are free. Yes. Swapping processors between physical and memory and disk. So that is also required. So then we need to find the least important. All are sort of correct. Now, which one is least important? Least responsibility of memory. So swapping processors between physical memory and disks. So that is memory management, right? Keeping track of which part of the physical memory are in use, which are free. Keeping track of the usage of compiled program files on hard disks. Deciding which process to run. This is definitely yes, right? Allocating physical memory to processors. Allocating physical memory to processors. And that is also sort of OS. But there's memory management unit in process as well. But this one I doubt. Third one, keeping track of the usage of compiled program files. Usage. Of course, you need to keep track of the files, but they say usage of them. compile programs. So it looks like this is not directly related to me because others are okay for me. Right? This is not something we, because it's a compile program files. This is the strange answer. So therefore I'll go for 3. Because still I feel like others are correct. I'll go for 3. Okay, let's see, it's a fuzzy question. So answer is 3. So this is the fuzzy one because it says compile program. Of course, the operating system must keep track of all the files, but not only the compile program file. So that is why I just took it as a suspicious part. Okay. Anyway, it's a little bit fuzzy question. 15. In a computer, the size of user program would exceed the size of physical memory. Yes. That is why we have logical memory and physical memory. Logical memory address space is bigger. Also, only the demanded areas of the program are kept in physical memory. Yes, other part can be kept in virtual memory, secondary storage. The above are due to which of the following? The use of cache memory? No. The use of contiguous file allocation? No. The use of file allocation table? No. The use of memory management unit? Sort of a yes. The use of page frames and page table? That is also yes. Okay, so now which one is the best? In a computer, the size of the user program could exceed the size of the physical memory. Also, only the demanded areas of the program are kept in the physical memory. Only the demanded area of the programs are kept in the physical memory. So therefore, I will go for last one because that is where pages, frames, right, mapping and everything. So this is more about virtual memory and so on. Memory management unit is also required to translate the logical address to physical address. But since they talk about uh, virtual memory more, anyway, both looks okay, but I will take a little bit of risk and take fifth one. Again, let's read. Yeah, because they're talking about memory. More memory is used in blah, blah, blah. I'll go for fifth one. Fourth one is also sort of a very close, but I take fifth as better one. Okay. Yes, examiner has taken fifth one. Okay, fifth one. Right, so we stop at this point. So we have almost half of the paper as well, and we did almost more than half of the second paper. So now you can see we are doing faster. Right. So in the next class, we'll finish the MCQs of the 2020 paper, and definitely we can finish it within 1 hour. So then we'll move on to second paper as well. Okay. Right. So likewise, next week, again, we'll do at least 3 hour, or we will do two sessions. Okay. Right. So we stop at this point. And if you have any other questions that you want me to discuss, just send me your own questions or any other past paper question that you want me to discuss. Okay. Right. We stop at this point. Thank you.